Not much other video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy, late afternoon, early evening on this fine Wednesday. Hope the day's treated you well. You've looked after yourself. You look forward to a good night of football. Obviously, last night was good with Dortmund and PSG, but tonight, obviously, the big game. Real Madrid, Bayern Munich in the other semi-final. Obviously, looking forward to that as well. So hopefully, you see this before that game, and Harry Kane ends up getting into the final. I'd love to see that for Harry's sake. In this video, they were talking about a, fellow England international in Conor Gallagher. And look, we know he doesn't really want to leave Chelsea, but if he had to leave, he has sort of shown of interest into someone. Is it Spurs? Is it somewhere else? I'll let you know in just a second. As well as that, as some bad news and potential Spurs' pursuit of Lloyd Kelly. So plenty to work, plenty to get into. Just want to say, though, if you're new, give a subscribe. You're very much welcome to join us for the journey. And let me start with Conor Gallagher, and I don't even need to give you a backstory. You know Spurs like Conor Gallagher. You also know that Chelsea have to sell because of their financial fair play disaster issues. So, Graham Bailey was talking about it, and he said that Conor Gallagher would prefer a move to Tottenham Hotspur this summer over Newcastle United. Gallagher is now set to leave Chelsea in the summer with just 1 year remaining on his deal. Now, look, let me phrase this properly. Gallagher's a good player, yes. I'm not sure he's exactly what Spurs need, and follow me on this. I don't see the number 8 role being a position of issue. I see the number 6 role being a massive issue, and a healthy Madders is great, but we potentially might need a 10 because Lo Celso may move on. I don't see 8 being an issue because obviously Berval may come in and he might end up playing the 8, as well as you have Basuma, Sarr, Bentancur. So for me, the number 6 role is key. Now, if they signed Gallagher and a 6, okay, I can get on board with that, but I don't see that being. If he was the accessory to the midfield movement, fine. But obviously he's not a 6, Gallagher. Gallagher is an 8/10. So unless they view him as the 10 move and they're still going to go for the 6, I'm not. I don't think him. He's got some good numbers this year, but I'm not. I'm not blown away by it. Could it work? Yes. Does it help with the homegrown quota? Yes. What is the price of the deal, though? Because we know Spurs aren't offering 40 and above. Spurs would want to probably offer about 30. Because Chelsea need to sell and all that. Does the Newcastle interest make this a bit more difficult, potentially? But yeah, I wouldn't want Spurs spending more than 30, 35 on this deal. And it's not saying he's not a good player. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it doesn't make a ton of sense. Now, I spoke in a previous video, which I have uploaded earlier, all right? Go back and have a watch. It's all about Ben Davies and Emerson Royale. You don't want to miss out on that. Some good stuff in there. And I did kind of mention, how, you can, remove players and bring players in, net spend being, quite a low thing. If you do think about, if you move Lo Celso and Højbjerg, that would pretty much pay for Conor Gallagher. Just trying to think of any other midfielders there out on loan that we're going to get any money for. I don't think so. I think the money that we're going to get is mostly in the defence. But saying that, Reguilon is a fee that I never really brought into defence because I think defence would pay for itself with other moves. But if Spurs were to go to the route with the midfield, they sell Lo Celso, they sell Højbjerg, and let's say they throw in Reguilon's fee as well, about 10 million. You throw a few extra quid on top of that. That's the 6 roll done. Actually, the 6 roll might be done from that sale. That whole money would cover Conor Gallagher anyway. Into the attack, do you sell Richarlison? I don't know. You're going to sell Brian Hill. You're probably going to sell Manor Solomon. You've still got the Harry Kane money that's going to take effect. There's a lot of money to spend because there's already going to be a lot of money made up. Because you think the Harry Kane sale and all these other things, it's going to be massive, that revenue from sales. So we'll see. Right, let's talk about Lloyd Kelly. It's a bit of bad news for the people that like Lloyd Kelly. It came from a couple of different sources. Let me start with the Fabrizio Romano tweet that came out yesterday night It says that Lloyd Kelly, Newcastle's top target is Lloyd Kelly, as the free agent reported, and he reported it last week. And then who was it here? Give us a second. Through Santi, it said that Newcastle set to sign Lloyd Kelly as a free agent. Verbal agreement in place between parties. The 25-year-old centre-back will leave Bournemouth at the end of the season to join the Magpies. Now, look, I like the idea of a centre-back who's left-footed, right? It just gives us a bit of a balance. You know, don't have to change the way we're going to build up play because of Mickey and things like that. And people have kind of been saying this about Tosin Adarabioyo, and I do want to answer it because I think a lot of you said it in comments. Why would a player want to come here if they've looked at Radu Dragusin's situation and gone, but I'm not going to play? A few things. If you think Mickey and Romero are going to play 2 to 3 games a week the whole season, not have injury issues or just rest concerns, that's crazy. That's crazy talk. Radu's going to play a lot of football next year. A lot of football next year. And he needed time to settle in and adjust and things like that. And he was never going to play games right off the bat. Bit part minutes here and there and then build into it. Yes, maybe recently he should have been playing more with the fact that we're just shipping goals, potentially. But I think for next season, there will be rotation. There'll be plenty of game minutes to go around for everyone. It won't just be a little bit of rotation here and there. I think it'll be big rotations because the idea is going to change a huge amount of the squad. There'll be players coming in kind of going, give me some of those minutes, and it'll be young players as well, like a Donnelly's and Bergvals and so on, that are kind of going, give me some of those Europa League minutes, give me some of those, EFL Cup minutes. Let me build into that Prem's thing, and then before you know it, you've brought in a couple of guys who are going to develop. And, Bergvall and Donnelly might be your midfield going forward for a long time, Hell, Donnelly could play anyway. I reckon Donnelly give you minutes of left back if you bloody need him to. But I do think there will be no issues for game time next year. And if players don't want to come because they're scared they're not going to get enough game time, that's more down to them not wanting to compete. And at the top clubs, you compete for your roles. You compete for the positions. The only ones that don't compete is probably Rodri and De Bruyne. Well, no, just Rodri. And maybe Rice, I guess you could probably say. But De Bruyne doesn't start every game. Haaland doesn't start every game. The players that do is because they're so crucial, or they don't have backups like Rodri or Rice. So for our guys, they're going to be getting game time. There's going to be plenty of game time. The benefit of the Europa League is maybe because the competition is not as strong as the Champions League, there's going to be so much more game time. And I like that. So we will get a centre-back in who, if it's Calafiori, it's Calafiori. If we go back in for Tosin Adarabioyo, we go back in. It doesn't seem like it's going to be Lloyd Kelly, but I think the Lloyd Kelly interest was back in the summer previous. There's been some injury issues this year, so maybe they've not been as keen on him since. So, it's one of those things, but we shall see. But anyway, guys, then the video, hope you enjoyed. Drop a like on the video. If you did, hit me in the comment section down below your thoughts and feelings about that Lloyd Kelly situation, him sort of moving off to Newcastle, as well as Conor Gallagher picking Spurs if he is to leave Chelsea. And obviously, subscribe to the channel if you're new and hit the bell notification for more. But anyway, guys, then the video, I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care, guys.